Chief Logan State Park sits deep in the mountains of Logan County, West Virginia. It opened as a recreation area in 1960 and became a full state park in 1968. It has over 4,000 acres of forest, more than 18 miles of trails, picnic areas, campgrounds, cabins, and a modern lodge. There's a wildlife exhibit with rescued animals like bears, bobcats, and owls. Inside the museum in the park, visitors can learn about local coal mining, frontier life, and native Appalachian culture. The park is named after Chief Logan, a Mingo leader known for his sorrowful speech, Logan's Lament. Though there's no proof he ever came to this land, his name is honored here, etched into the hills and signs all around. At the heart of the park is the Liz Spurlock Amphitheater, home to the Aracoma Story, a drama about early life in the area. The play tells the story of a Native American woman named Aracoma, the daughter of Shawnee leader Cornstalk. She had a tragic end, losing her children to a plague before being killed by settlers for her husband's bad ways. The theater also hosts The Great Divide, a play about the Hatfield and McCoy feud, families who once lived in this region. There's campgrounds, cabins, a lodge, and much more. Plus, every winter, the hills light up with the famous Christmas in the Park drive-through display. But away from the lights and exhibits sits something older, something tinged with dark, an old rustic cabin, and even though we romanticize this era, sometimes it was hard and filled with tragedy at every turn. Though the cabin represents a simpler time, the life of the people that once lived inside wasn't so simple. The cabin once belonged to Grover Cleveland Bias, born in 1885, son of Obadiah Roland Rowe Bias and Luema Baisden Bias. He married Lena, who went by Lenny May Sawyer. Lenny May was the daughter of Joel E. Stallings and Dole A. Akers. The Bias cabin, built in the 1800s and moved to the park in the 1990s, isn't just a display, it's part of a real family's history. But it was likely built by Grover's father, Obadiah Roland Rowe Bias, since Grover was born in 1885 and would have been too young at the time to have built it himself. One thing I found while researching was this photo, taken in 1906. Roland Bias sits in the middle. To the left stands his son Grover and daughter Georgia Ann Bias Wheatley. Her husband, Leander Dorn Wheatley, stands on the right. The photo may have been taken in front of this very cabin. The cabin was built from hand-cut logs, like many homes of that time, and stood in the hills not far from where it rests now. Put together by hand, it still stands pretty solid today. So let's start at the beginning of the darker side of this family, because before the heartache hit Grover and Lenny, it struck the generation before. Grover's mother, Luema, died of tuberculosis and dysentery at age 71. They didn't know it then, but Grover and Lenny's life together would be filled with sorrow that seemed almost unshakable. Their firstborn, Archie Roland Bias, came into the world on July 3, 1922. But by the time he was just 20, he was gone, taken by heart failure brought on by pulmonary tuberculosis. It was the kind of slow, wasting sickness that robbed families piece by piece. He died on September 30th, 1942, in Fulton, Logan County. Then came more heartbreak. Their son Emmett, born in 1925, died on November 18, 1956. He was only 31. A car accident in Chapmanville tore him from the world. His pelvis fractured, his body broken by blunt force trauma. In a moment, he was gone. Their daughter Henrietta died at just 13 years old in Chapmanville. No one seems to know exactly what took her. But a young life ended far too soon. And then there was Averly Lee Bias, born in 1934. In 1947, when she was only 12, pneumonia stole her life away. She died in Huntington, and the sound of her voice never returned to those hills. Years later, tragedy struck in a way no parent should ever know. Lenny Mae Sawyer Bias, mother of those children, was brutally stabbed to death in her home in Godsey Heights near Logan. Her own son, Henry, was charged with the crime. The knife wounds, neck, chest, head, shoulder, left no mercy. She bled out. Her life ended in violence. Her funeral was held at the Methodist Church in Jeffrey. Grover seems to be one of the only ones to die of natural causes, listing senility among other ailments. Even though we can't say this happened in the cabin, it happened to the family who once lived there, leaving a mark. And sometimes it feels like that sorrow seeped into the very wood. Their family endured more than most, buried more than most, one after another. Illness, accidents, violence. Some say it was just bad luck, others aren't so sure. You can almost hear the creak of the porch boards, the voices of children, and the silence that came after. The Bias family is long gone now, but like so many families before them, they left behind traces of a life that feels both distant and close. Close enough that, if you stand still and listen, you might almost touch it. But as usual, we are separated by the veil of death, the veil that we stand on this side, at least for now. On a side note, it was also used in the White Lightning, Hatfield, and McCoy series for promo pictures. And maybe more, but we can't verify that. Let's go check out the cabin. You notice? You coming? It's like, it's so quiet here that it's deafening, you know what I mean?
You notice how they use the little tiny rocks? Before you go up, look at this. I noticed this earlier. Little tiny ones here and there to make everything level up. Just a little itty bitty rock.
Right. I wish we could get in there.
Yeah, it's locked up.
Boo.
Can't see anything through the cracks. See if there's a window we can maybe look in.
I am really curious what it looks like in here, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. You know what I noticed about it? A couple things I noticed right off. Notice how the logs are cut? Like so. I mean, obviously this was a big round, round log, right? You had to do all this cutting and all the way down through there to get this shape. And if you notice, can you see it? Yeah. Look right here. You see these marks? That's a little tool called an adze. Looks like a little hoe. And you sit there and hand hew the log, big round tree, down until you get it into this shape. Now, that is wild, but the chinking in between, I know I've told y'all the story about Mom when she was little, about how they would get up in the middle of the night in the winter during storms, mixing, dirt or clay and straw and water to jam it back in the holes as the storms would blow it out.
I remember your mom telling me about they had dirt floors and that they would sweep them and
keep them slick.
No electricity. They said after dark that they didn't even always have a way to light their house, which seems weird to us, but to some people, especially extreme poverty, those things are not easy to come by all the time.
The saucer lamps I thought was really cool, using animal fat. I thought that was really cool. Take a little saucer with animal fat and cotton and a bowl on top and makes a lantern, makes a little lamp. Not a single window.
Well, the house that I saw in the picture looked a little bit bigger than this. I'm not sure if they, changed it, but...
Is this one locked? Okay. That one's locked from the inside. It's got a latch.
Oh, it's got 2 levels because it's got a window up there. Huh.
The upstairs was the good one. That's where it was warm at. The downstairs was cold. The upstairs was warm in the winter.
And hot in the summer.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I always thought it was interesting the way they use those rocks and stuff. You know, just flat rocks. And pile them up until they get it exactly where they want it. No concrete involved, just rock. Pile it up.
Very cool.
Yeah. Old shingles, shakes and shingles up on top. Wood shingles. Did you notice those?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
I don't know if those are the original, would it? Yeah.
No, they're not original, but same
How do you know?
same design. Oh, the boys are getting upset.
Put them on there.
We got the puppy dogs over with us today.
Cut that out.
It's wild looking, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that way your roofing adds a whole nother layer of storm protection too. Okay guys, I guess that just about wraps up another video for the two of us. So I guess from out here in Chief Logan State Park in Logan County, West Virginia, this is Leo and Heather, and the Hillbilly Files out. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.